For centuries, brave sailors navigating the treacherous, open oceans relied entirely on hand-drawn maps to survive. A single mistake on a chart could mean running aground on hidden reefs or getting lost at sea forever. But what happens when the massive islands marked clearly on those maps never actually existed at all? Welcome to the eerie world of Phantom Islands. These are landmasses that explorers swore were real, only for them to completely vanish into thin air. You might think Phantom Islands are just a silly blunder from the uneducated Middle Ages. But one ghost island actually managed to fool Google Maps and marine scientists well into the 21st century. It was called Sandy Island, and it was first officially documented by the famous explorer Captain James Cook in 1774. Cook mapped it in the Coral Sea, sitting right between Australia and New Caledonia. For over 230 years, this island remained a staple on world maps. When the internet arrived, the island automatically transitioned into digital databases, appearing on National Geographic maps. It even appeared on global satellite networks. They noticed a strange anomaly. The nautical charts showed an island, but their depth sounders showed the ocean floor was deep. But in November of 2012, a team of Australian research scientists sailed out to study the area. The sonar equipment was completely blank. When they arrived at the exact coordinates, they stared out the windows in absolute shock. There was absolutely nothing there. Just 4,000 feet of completely empty, unobstructed open ocean. How could a piece of land the size of Manhattan just disappear? It turns out, Captain Cook had likely encountered a pumice raft. This is a giant floating mass of porous volcanic rock created during underwater eruptions. It can drift across the sea for months at a time. From a distance, it looks exactly like solid beach sand, fooling generations of sailors. It took humanity over 2 centuries to realize they were mapping a giant piece of floating volcanic debris. Moving over to the Gulf of Mexico, we find the mysterious case of Bermeja Island. This tiny speck of land was first meticulously mapped by Spanish explorers all the way back in the 1500s. For hundreds of years, it was just a meaningless dot on a page. Until the late 1990s rolled around. That is when the United States and Mexico began tense negotiations over maritime borders. They were fighting over crucial drilling rights. If Bermeja Island actually existed, it would extend Mexico's economic zone significantly. This extension would give Mexico sole ownership of a massive underwater oil field worth over $100 billion. Eager to claim their fortune, the Mexican government dispatched an official naval expedition to survey the island. They searched using advanced radar and satellite technology, but they found nothing but water. The island had vanished, and its sudden disappearance triggered an intense international conspiracy theory. To this day, many politicians and citizens firmly believe the U.S. Central Intelligence Agency was involved. The theory claims the CIA secretly deployed explosives to bomb the island right into the ocean. By destroying the island, they effectively erased Mexico's claim to those billions of dollars in oil reserves. While geologists state the island likely just eroded away due to rising sea levels, the legend of the stolen island remains a massive talking point. Perhaps the strangest and most mystical phantom island of all is Hy-Brasil. Located west of Ireland in the Atlantic Ocean, it appeared on maps starting in the year 1325. Mapmakers always drew it as a perfect circle, split right down the middle by a wide, flowing river. Ancient Celtic myths claimed the island was completely invisible to the human eye. It was supposedly shrouded in an impenetrable wall of mist for 7 years at a time. But on the 7th year, the mist would lift for a single day, revealing a paradise. Legends claimed it was home to a highly advanced civilization filled with immortal beings and untold wealth. In 1674, a seasoned sea captain named John Nisbet claimed he actually dropped anchor on the island. He claimed he and his crew walked the beaches and were gifted gold by an ancient magician who lived in a stone castle. Countless explorers set sail over the next 2 centuries desperately trying to find the magician's treasure. But as navigation technology improved, Hy-Brasil slowly faded from official charts. Modern scientists have finally debunked the myth using atmospheric physics. The island was actually an optical illusion known as a Fata Morgana mirage. When cold air rests above warm water, it bends light rays, making flat water look like towers. The old sailors weren't lying, they were literally chasing optical illusions built by the atmosphere. Deep in the Atlantic Ocean, 15th century maps frequently detailed a massive rectangular island named Antillia. Legend said that during the Muslim conquest of Hispania, 7 Christian bishops fled by ship with all their followers. They sailed far into the unknown west and founded 7 magnificent, golden cities on this mysterious island. Christopher Columbus himself actually used maps that featured Antillia to plan his historic voyage across the globe. He fully expected to use the island as a strategic stopover station to resupply his ships. But as fleets began crisscrossing the Atlantic, they realized the massive rectangular island was completely missing. It was purely a mythical refuge created by frightened cartographers trying to fill empty map space. Our final mystery takes us to the Canary Islands, where locals whispered about an elusive 8th island named San Borondon. Named after Saint Brendan, an Irish monk who claimed he landed there in the year 512. He claimed the island was filled with lush forests, singing birds, and beautiful running rivers. But when the monks lit a campfire to cook dinner, the entire island suddenly began to shake violently. The ground began sinking beneath their feet. They scrambled back to their boat just in time to watch the entire island swim away. They hadn't landed on an island at all. They had set up camp on the back of a colossal, sleeping sea monster. Despite this crazy story, regional mapmakers continued to include San Borondon on official charts for centuries. Sailors frequently claimed they saw it through the heavy ocean mist, but it always vanished when they sailed closer. Our satellite maps might be perfectly accurate today, but it makes you wonder about the mysteries we still miss. What if some things we think are real today turn out to be nothing more than modern mirages? What if we're still mapping things that aren't there? If you had an exploration ship, which of these phantom islands would you want to search for first? Would you look for the golden cities of Antillia? Let us know your favorite theory in the comments section below. Make sure to drop a like if you love a good history mystery, and hit that subscribe button to explore more bizarre corners of our world with the world facts.